Hello everyone. In this module, I want to tell you about a timer that helps you keep track of your work. Pomodoro in Italian means a tomato, and there was an Italian researcher about 100 years back named Francesco Cirillo who came up with this technique. Basically, what he did was he used a kitchen timer that his mother used for baking, and this timer was shaped like a tomato, and in that timer he would put a 25-minute time and then track his work. So it was very effective while he was a university student, and he was able to manage his time and self-regulate. So Pomodoro technique methodology is simply uh, to apply uh, it in this way that you work for 25 minutes and take 5-minute breaks. So this is an example of a timer he might have used, and it's a spring-based timer, and whenever it uh, reaches 0 minutes, it might ring. So there are many other online tools. You can look it up and you can use them in the same way as this tomato timer. You don't really have to go and buy a $10 Pomodoro to help you with your work. You can also set up a timer on your phone or just an alarm to remind you at every 25 minutes or uh, so that you can track your work. So how does it work? Basically, you have to prepare and commit to a study plan. First, you must estimate the time required for a complete subject or exam, considering exam date, when the exam date is going to be. You divide up your work in weeks, and then you have to avoid wasting time. You must gather all the things you need and put away all the things you don't need and sit down and study. The student must become aware of the procrastinatory attitude and take immediate action and say no to distractions. You can either turn off your phone or keep it on silent and keep it away from you study area. The technique also requires you to schedule every hour that you will be studying. So simple way to use this technique is to make note of what time you started studying and then add half an hour to it. So say about 25 minutes from whenever you start studying, you can take a break. But until then, you commit yourself to study, to sit and study. So it's a way to become a time ninja, I would say. So to maximize Pomodoro effectiveness, Mr. Cirillo listed out these 9 rules. So a Pomodoro consists of a 25-minute plus 5-minute breaks. After every 4 Pomodoro, you can take about 15 to 30-minute breaks. The Pomodoro is indivisible. So you don't say half, I'll just work for half Pomodoro. No, it doesn't work like that. The 25 minutes. And as you get used to it, you can increase it to 50 minutes or even longer. Once a Pomodoro begins, it should be completed with minimal interruption. If there is interruption, you quickly have to do what you have to do and come back to your space and start studying again and wait until the bell rings to take a break. You have to handle all interruptions quickly and come back to the work. So if it takes more than 5 to 7 Pomodoro for any of your work, then you can even simplify your task and make it in even smaller chunks. If it activity lasts less than one full Pomodoro, you can combine it with other simple tasks that will take at least 1 Pomodoro. Results are achieved 1 Pomodoro at a time. And every time you use this technique, next session will be even better. So why do we use this? Basically, it will help you overcome feeling of laziness. And if you're feeling lazy, if you don't feel like doing something, you can just tell yourself, just I will start with 1 Pomodoro and study for 25 minutes and see how I feel. So getting started is important. And this way you can get some of the important work done as you go. You have to schedule your calendar and follow the schedule in order to work with this technique. Here, an example planning. Let's say I'm starting at about 3:35, 3:45 p.m. in afternoon. I have this to-do list to collect material, edit PowerPoint, shoot a video, edit video, and I give it about time estimation that how long I might take, about an hour or so. And then basically The process of recording, processing, and visualizing starts, in which I say, okay, I may take, I may need to do 2 Pomodoros for this presentation preparation. I may need 2 Pomodoros for videography, and I may need one to edit the technique. And later, on the same sheet of paper, if it took me longer than an hour or more than 2 Pomodoros, then I just note it down. So by doing this, I would know exactly how much more or how much less an activity took to get done. This way, it helps me keep track of what's going on and how much time it's going to take. And it helps you visualize in future for a long-term project how much time you should assign to each of your tasks. So yeah, here are the papers I read and I took ideas from to present this session. I hope you liked it. And if you have time, you can also go ahead and read these papers and understand more about how to use Pomodoro in your. Thank you very much. Take care.